We live, man. Welcome to another episode of Mindset Mondays with the homie Van. What this gangster? What's going
What
on?
up? What up? What up, cyber world? Shit, I miss y'all.
We do a little plug for my boy and his water, man. Good vibes water, man. Some great alkaline water right here.
Good vibes.
Good vibe, black on right here in Temple, Texas, man.
Okay.
Some great alkaline water, man. But so what's been up, man? Before I get into my venting and stuff, man, let me.
Man,
What's going
you,
on your way, man? What's going on, man?
growing, steady pushing forward, not folding. Got a curriculum. I'm excited. Eventually it'll be in the house of resources. But then also like putting together a program, a package to help people get started, go from idea of entrepreneurship to getting into the game, like no matter what their budget is, type thing. So just trying to make that as effective as possible, trying to research and just trying to learn and grow. That's all. Then what else I got? She's yeah. Damn, that one caught me off guard. But yeah, just maintaining this course. I saw like the youthpreneur event you all had.
Oh yeah,
That
that
looked
was
like
dope.
it went pretty good, pretty well. You know, um, I got a youth event coming up.
Okay.
A speaking event with Shay Davis, and I think that's June 25th. So kind of excited about that. Preparing something special for that. So yeah, just
That's all.
grinding, keep pushing.
That's all you can do, man. Is just keep pushing. Uh, knowing what's around the corner, but you got to keep pushing. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, like I tell people all the time, man. The work we do. I have so many people tell me all the time, I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. I ain't got time for our people. I ain't gonna go through that stuff with our people. And I get why they say that, but then like I tell them, that's the reason why we at the bottom because most of us have that mindset because we don't want to deal with each other. We don't want to deal with the headache. We don't want to deal with the dumb stuff that's gonna come dealing with our people. It's just baked in the cake. You know what I'm saying? I always say that it's baked in the cake. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the stuff, even the stuff I'm frustrated with and going, I knew that when I signed up for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm frustrated to the point where I'm just done with it, but I'm frustrated to the point where I think it's time for me to get more aggressive with it. And being more aggressive with it gonna turn some people off, but those are people you need to turn off. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like what we was talking about last week when we was talking about trying to like be cool and nice with everybody because you don't want to really ruffle feathers and you don't want to really mess up a relationship that could be, but you went off on one person and then you messed up a potential relationship with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like walking on eggshells. Maybe that's the conversation we had last week.
Hmm.
And I'm like, man, forget them eggshells. I'm stomping on them. You know what I'm saying? Because like, how are we gonna ever get to the point if we can't just tackle the situations? If we can't be real with each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I had, I got the summer camp coming up, right?
Hmm.
And I'm charging $300 for 3 weeks, having the kids from 7:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the evening. That's underpaid. That's damn near free. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about feeding them breakfast, lunch, and then having them all day. That's not no money. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So even saying that, that's what the House of Resources for. We're trying to make resources. We're trying to make it more affordable. And it ain't even about the pay. I want the youth. Once I get the youth, that's the pay. The youth that I can build with. You know what I'm saying? Youth that I can plant seeds in. That's the pay that I get from this. Not no money. It's not no money. If I was trying to make money, it should be like $500-$600. And, you know what I'm saying? And go about my business. But what's frustrating to me is I get sponsored that's I don't know if they're gonna. Well, I don't know if they're gonna sponsor 15, 20, or all 30 kids, but I know at least 15 to 20 is gonna be paid for, if not more. They showed up Saturday at the House of Resources with a check. Don't want to show me the check because they want to surprise me with what the check says, right? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if they're gonna be like, here go 9,000. Here, that's for all 30 kids. $300 for 30 kids is $9,000. I don't know if they're gonna do that. I don't know if it's gonna be 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. I'm grateful for it, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I hit parents up. Hey, the foundation, the sponsor, the people that's sponsoring, I hit them up like Thursday. Say the sponsorship gonna be here Saturday. I just need y'all for about 20, 30 minutes. Come take the little photo. Cause you know, the nonprofit, all they care about is the photo. Cause that's what keeps, you know, when you're a nonprofit with the money, all you care about is the photo that show your work. You know what I'm saying? The money is not the object. The money is not, you know, that's the last thing you worried about. The picture of the kids that's gonna be going to camp is way more important than the money. So they show up with the check. How many kids you think showed up for that picture?
Out of 30, maybe 10.
I wish.
5.
I wish.
9.
0, bro. Bro, I had one parent tell me, I'm still in bed, I ain't gonna be able to make it. Didn't even have the nerve. Didn't even lie to me. Like, at least tell me the car broke down or something.
Yeah.
I had another one tell me that, oh, I'm at a flag football game. This is the last flag football game of the season. But this is the same parent that was crying to me, thankful because they couldn't afford for their kids to go nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so guess what happened? They kept the check.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, bro, it's hard. It's a catch-22.
Bro,
it's a catch-22, and it's like, and this is kind of why I kind of stay on the edges of a lot of the movements, because we want a lot of, let's say, we want a lot of things fixed in the community. We just don't want to be the ones that fix them.
Bro, you ain't even gotta fix them. You can show up in a bonnet. I don't need you in the picture. I just need you to drop them off. You sit in the parking lot 15, 20 minutes, take them back and go sleep for the rest of the day. I'm not even asking nothing from you. And that's what I'm starting to figure. Maybe that's the problem. I'm asking too little of them. I'm going too far for them, making it too easy for them. Because if it was a football game, I guarantee they'd have been up. If it was a basketball track meet, any sports, I guarantee they've been up. You know what I'm saying? Like, with no hesitation. No, but see, that's what I'm saying. So it's easy to say, you know what, man, forget this. But then, and then on top of all that, bro. So okay, me and the people talk, right? They were like, okay, well, I'm gonna go back to my board. It's out of my control now, because they feel kind of slighted and disrespected, as they should, right? I had one parent tell me that I should have gave them a bigger notice. A parent that ain't got no job, don't do nothing, but sit at home needed a bigger notice than 2 days.
So let me put it this way. One of the things that's mind-boggling is, if you give someone what they need for free, they won't want it.
Yeah. Or they feel entitled to it. They want it because I bet you June 5th they'll be looking to drop them kids out because they need a babysitter then. See, they'll show up for June 5th because they need a babysitter. Right now, I'm in my bed. It's a Saturday. I don't need a babysitter until June 5th for those 3 weeks. They'll show up for sure June 5th because they have to go to work and need a babysitter. So they're not, you know what I'm saying?
And then, but when you make them pay for it, then it's a different level of respect, even if it's $1, because they feel like they gave up something. So they, you know, so it's that weird dynamic. As much as you appreciate the support in them sponsoring, it's like, at the same time, you took your time to make a free way for these kids to get something they need, but because it's free, it's too easy. It's like, man, yeah, it's a crazy task, and it's frustrating at the same time too, because
look, that ain't even it though. Okay, so he go back to the board, figure out some things. So he's like, okay, let's I'm gonna have a little questionnaire, about 5 or 6 questions that they gotta answer, saying why they need the help, why they'll be grateful for the help, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And knowing my people, I told him, I said, it's gonna be a couple people that might feel offended, but I don't care. It's time to start offending people.
Mm-hmm.
No, the first parent was like, yeah, just send me the email. No problem. I'm sorry I didn't make it. I'll do that. Which should be everybody's response, right? You know what I'm saying? I had the nerve to tell me I should have gave them a bigger heads up. Well, I just found it somewhere else for my kid. Huh? I'm not gonna beg you to help you. You like say I almost got. But see, at the same time, now you back and forth with the parent, and the parent is my least worry. Well, I ain't gonna say my least worry because the child is my first worry, but the parent is where the child stays at. So that mindset, what kind of mindset do you think that child's having? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And see, then when these children out here robbing and stealing and doing all this crazy stuff, oh Lord, what we gonna do? Huh? No, remember these programs ain't nothing. You got it. You sleep all day. You lazy. You know you this, you that. No, you don't cry now. No, don't cry now. But see, then like you say, that's the catch-22 because that's what keeps us at the bottom because of that mindset. And then people that's in my position, a lot of people tap out like, man, forget that. I'm not gonna go through all that, bro. You know, I could be making some real money focusing on my other businesses. I took a pay cut in the last couple of years because CEO Youth League come first, and I don't make no money off CEO Youth League right now. Could it be potentially one day? Yeah. But is it right now? No, last 2 years out of my pocket for a loss. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I
know about that shit. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So so my approach now is I'm about to be more blunt and more rougher with these parents. And that might rub something wrong, but that's cool. I'm cool with that. I had to tell one parent straight up, like, I'm not going to go back and forth with you over trying to help you out. I'm going on a juvenile detention tour, and I'll be in these juveniles, putting my curriculum together. I'll catch your child then. Mm-hmm. It's getting to the point where I know where they're going to end up if I don't save them, so I just catch them there. But I'm trying to be proactive instead of reactive. I want to catch them before they end up going down that road.
What you just made me think of is when it comes to entrepreneurship, whatever, a commercial shows how to use the product. You know, good commercial shows you how to use the product. I think that might be the next step, making a commercial. Yeah. And like you said, that commercial might be as simple as you're on a youth tour, or you got some pictures or short clips of you speaking inside the juvenile detention center. Then you showing the house of resources. You know, hey, if you don't have time to make sure your child catch me at the house of resources, then catch me here. This is the value. Real talk. This is what we're saying. You know.
That's real.
And then you might even put a little more detail in it. Shit, show the parents sleeping, show the parent making sure they got time to get them to the football game. You know, is this the touchdown you wait? Mom, when you coming to see me? Is that the touchdown? I'm here, touchdown. You that type. You know,
it might not even be a commercial. It might be like a 3 to 5 minute little skit movie, because that commercial I won't be able to put all that in no 30 seconds. I did, you know what I'm saying? Like a short little skit or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, whether you make it a PAL tune, whether you say, hey, look, the House of Resources, we're getting ready to shoot a commercial. This commercial's a skit. You know, come be in the skit. Shit, the same one, I guarantee the ones that didn't show up, they'll show up to be in the skit because it looks fun. You know, it looks fun. We're going to air this on TV, everything. It looks fun. They're going to make sure they're there. But they're going to be a part of the message to themselves.
Yeah. Make them sign a little waiver so I can use it as media.
Yeah.
It's frustrating because I just know where these kids end up when you have a parent that just can care less, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, And then I thought about it. I said, you know what? I should have made it a mandatory, but I didn't think I had to make it a mandatory. If you know somebody's paying for your child, you should just show up. I shouldn't have to say this the only way they're gonna pay for your child is you show up. I should have did it. Now that I think, now that I backtrack, I think about it, but I shouldn't even have to do that. Like I shouldn't have to force you to do. I shouldn't have to like put you in a wrestling move to prove to you that this. Now you go show up. Like come show your gratitude. Do you know how them people looking and they come to give money with a check? I still don't even know what the check said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you know? And they come from Killeen, but one of them came from Dallas just for that picture, like a 2-minute picture. That's all they wanted, bro.
Yeah, bro. So, like, man, jeez.
Hey, on top of that, hold on. On top of that, when I called, so we had a talk yesterday. He was like, "Okay, this is what we're gonna do." Had a little questionnaire, you know what I'm saying? Send it out to him, and we'll see how many we pick out of the people that. I mean, it's like 5 questions: why you should do it, why you're grateful for it, why do you need this help, how it can help you. And I told him, I said, man, it's gonna be some parents offended. And my second call today was a parent that was offended that it went from guaranteed to now you got to fill out 5 or 6 questions and then it could be guaranteed. Like that's the entitlement. That's the government been taking care of me all my life, and I don't normally get put through this ringer for the government assistance. So why am I doing that for a community organization that's doing something good? Basically, like the audacity of us to even ask you to fill out some paper, a couple questions to help your kid, house your kid, and feed your kid, and nurture your kid. The audacity of us. Like I say, it's the mindset. I'm not even mad at the parent because I don't like the last thing I'm worried about is going back and forth with parents because at the end of the day, even if I say forget you or whatever, it's the kid that loses. You know what I'm saying? And I know you can't save everybody. I'm not here to save everybody, but I am here to challenge the mindset and why we even. And it's not cool. We can't just say, "Well, I don't want to ruffle no feathers, so I ain't gonna say nothing." No, I'm gonna start saying something. I don't know if I'm gonna lose kid, gain kids, or whatever, but it's gonna be just real, and I'm putting it out there. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it's sickening, bro. But these are the same parents that's gonna be sick when their kids on their way to juvenile. One of these parents the one parent told me, like, she raising her foster grandkids or something. Somebody in the family lost their kids and she took over them. She said, I made a mistake when I raised my kid. All I care about is sports, this and that. And her kid right now frustrated, in and out of jail over there, working on industrial. You know what I'm saying? So she told me, and that was the one that told me she couldn't make it because she was at a flag football game. We just had a conversation a week ago on how you being all in with sports ran your child down the wrong road. And then you missed this opportunity because you had a flag football game. A flag football game. I don't know, bro. So, like I'm retooling my approach. I'm about to get a little more blunter, a little more rougher because the situation is dire. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna be nice about it. It's time to just be real. And if some people walk away, that's cool. But I'm gonna be able to sleep better because now we talking about this in public and we putting that mirror in front of everybody. So even if you walk away, you still saw yourself in the mirror for a minute. That's why you walked away because you didn't like that picture that you seen. I made you look at yourself and I called you out on your bullshit. Now, when the first time your kid go to juvenile to get in trouble, you're going to always be able to go back to the day that I put a mirror in front of you. I'm going to have to just do it like that because trying to be nice and trying to go, I'm like, okay, that's your excuse. Okay, I'm going to kill that excuse. Every excuse that they got, I'm finding ways to make it where it's not even an excuse. And then they still find an excuse. Like Dr. Boyce always say, you can't deal with people that find a problem for every solution. Every time I give you a solution, you find a new problem for it.
Man, so I agree with everything you say. However, it's the battle of, okay, do we have to go to them to bring the message versus trying to get them to come to us? Reshaping the message. Maybe it's okay. We understand we're trying to get them to do something outside of sports, but maybe it's something like tying the NIL to it and going to the sports teams and doing your marketing there. Hey, look, I just want to, coach, can I speak to your kids 10 minutes after practice or whatever? Hey, you are a business, you know. So while you playing sports, you could get paid off yourself. But now if we start a business like you do paintings and all that, as you play sports, now when those NIL deals come, you can say, hey, not only do I want you to pay me and I wear your shirt and be on your commercial, but I want you to have my pictures in your background. I want you to share my link on your website. Tell them to support by buying a picture or something like that. You have that leverage because you already have it in place, you know. So maybe just.
And the thing about it is, I started off like that, but I think my message is when I be too real with kids, so they run a lot of these. I started out CL Youth League, started out just wanting to attach to every AAU league to make a curriculum, like make that part of your AAU league, this and that. But I think my message about most of y'all won't make it. Maybe I need to retool my message, but retooling my message mean I'm lying to these kids again. I want to be straight up with them. Most of y'all will never see a professional check. That don't mean don't play sports. That don't mean that. That just mean don't put all your greatness into sports. Put your greatness into this and that and that and this and sports. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying just get up and walk away from sports today.
But the likelihood of them all being able to see a check from sports is
that's what I'm saying.
Possible. Because, like, let's say we go to the CEO Academy and we talking putting a business mindset. And you might be a freshman on varsity at Temple Junior High. We can at least show you how to go to a damn McDonald's and get a check for advertising them or your favorite restaurant or favorite local business, that type thing, you know, so we could grab them that way.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely like I'm with it, and I'm definitely that's what I've been doing the last couple of days.
Just figure that shit out, like, jeez.
Because it's sickening, bro. Because I understand what this leads to, and and I hate. I've been doing this for years. I did this with my cousins. I did this with my nieces. I've been doing this for like the last 15 years about screaming to people, "This is how it's gonna end up." Now, 15 years later, my niece. Oh, she going to the WNBA. I hope she do. But the eyes are she won't. Where's she at now? At Chile somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my nephew, I wish he would have made it. Where is he at? Somewhere frustrated at a job now. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are just the reality of it. That don't mean I didn't want my niece to make it or my nephew to make it. I'm dealing with reality. And I went up against it. And then you know what? All these years later, when they're at Chili's or they're at their job frustrated, oh, you was right, bro.
And
I don't care about being right. I'm trying to be.
But sometimes that's what it is. Like, for example, you know how you see athletes like basketball players, they have kids. And most of the time, the kids don't be a basketball player when the parent pressure them to follow them footsteps versus letting them choose, right? And I'm learning it's kind of like the same thing. Like, I talk so much about entrepreneurship and pushing it so much to my kids that they don't necessarily understand the value of it yet because they're in a school system that doesn't promote that. So my daughter, she got her first job. I'm like, man, your job's to go to school and boom, we don't, you know, you think you need money, but what you need money for? You know, shit. Anyway, but she draws, she paints, and I'm telling her, I guarantee you could sell one of these drawings for way more than your 2-week check. But you got to have the confidence and belief to do it. But that won't come until she experienced working and not what up, Bam, and just going through a 9-to-5 rotation. Maybe it's going to take her trying to get off for Christmas and them telling her no, you know, but until she has that experience, she won't value the other shit she knows. You know, that's another thing we're up against too. Schools don't encourage kids to be entrepreneurs because that breaks the system. So now their everyday school and the what's up, Mama Brown, and the things they're learning to be normal or learning to be acceptable and striving for is going against their freedom, you know. So now when you're here and you're talking about this, you're a lone voice out there talking against this system everybody's encouraging them to go down.
Yeah. That just and it's like a lot. Like I asked a person today, what's the difference between a GED and a diploma? Because we celebrate everybody graduating. I'm not against no kids graduating, but in the bigger scheme of things, what's the difference?
The graduation.
The graduation. Okay, that's great. Everybody graduating. But the thing about it is, like I seen a dad, they were sharing everybody. It went viral. Dad bought his son a Mustang for graduating. Beautiful thing, whatever. So of course it's making payments. It's not paid off cash, nothing like that. But what if you would have gave him a business? What if you gave him some LLCs? What if you gave him something else in a hoopty? Give him a hoopty and put him in a business and get him started. Get him, you know what I'm saying? But at that point, it's too late because you haven't built him up to be ready for that. So I guess that would be pointless at that point. But because he's not groomed for it. So if you gave it to him right when he graduated, that's not. But I'm challenging the mindset that we celebrate all this graduation. I'm not mad at nobody graduating. But the thing I'm upset about. I talk to a lot of these kids a semester, two semesters, or a year or two later, and these kids are frustrated. These kids at their jobs they hate. These kids didn't really accomplish nothing. They graduated. Oh, you're the first graduated in my family. Our bar is so low in our community that you know what I'm saying? Like the people I hang around. Graduation is just a scratch on. Okay, you graduated. It's time to go to the next level. Ain't gonna be no huge celebrations. Ain't gonna be no this and that. That's one step into the next level of where you got to go to in life to keep this family name going. That's a whole different thing. Graduation be down there the end all be all, and the kids party and go get a job. And I mean, some go to college, but most of them that go to college going to be out the first, second semester. We know this. The numbers tell us this.
How can
So it ain't see sometimes.
So let's talk about general numbers, right? Yeah, right. That we all kind of know. When they talk about the 99% versus the 1%, what are they talking about? You know, whether it's 1% or 5%, you know, so whether it's the 99 or the 95%, they're both the same thing. But when I say the 1% versus the 99, what do you think of?
I think about the have-nots, the wealth, you know what I'm saying?
The wealth gap and all that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's one part of it. But then statistically, that 1% are ultimately business owners and the other 99 work for them, right? So not only is that the wealth gap and so forth, but you as an entrepreneur, you as a builder, how many people do you run into that's actually into building? And it comes out to that same ratio, 1% out of 99% of the people you know.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and I don't know why that is. I don't know, as they say in athletics, a dog. Why are some people born with that dog in them and some? I don't know that answer. I don't know how to get someone to that answer. But now, if this is the statistic and this is not a no racial number, whether it's white, Jew community, whatever, right? This 99 versus 1%. So now, if most people don't want to own businesses, you get what I'm saying? How do we help those people?
My main thing is telling them, that's one of our big thing. Everybody can't run a business. Everybody can't own a business. That's what our community says, right? But our community, that's the same community that push a job in sports on everybody. Everybody not gonna make it in sports, and everybody not gonna make it in a job. But you still tell us to go to a sports and go get a job. You know what I'm saying? So it's the programming. Like,
Right.
but to answer your question, life is business. See, we all look at business as a building or a company name or this and that. Your life, before you had any brand, you running your life is a business. We don't look at it like that. We never been taught to look at it like that. But the decisions you make, good or bad, the people you be with, good or bad, that all builds up on where your life goes, right?
It's like the 48 laws of power. They're great tools. You don't have to read the book, but that doesn't stop them from being playing against you. Yeah. And if you don't know, that's your fault, not, for sure. You know. So one of the things I think about is, okay, statistically, if this is the climate we're in, the only thing we can do is build those companies and hire those people. Because now we're shifting what's cool. You get what I'm saying? So even as we talk on this level, going to the sports team and say, okay, now we know not a lot of y'all are going to get drafted, but what if we could teach all y'all how to run a professional team? So if you decided to buy one, you would know. We would still get that same message across.
Yeah.
That the CEO Youth League is for, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But now we're kind of meeting them in their area. So now hopefully some of those kids, even if we get 1 out of 100 kids, right, then that means the program's a success, because if we could get one kid knowing how to operate, knowing how to own, knowing how to run a sports organization or a sports business, a sports franchise, now we're at least broadening the thinking versus just being an athlete. And if we really want to get into it, we could go to the Temple Junior Wildcats, Breon and the Bears, and say, okay, let us take some people, or let us start a different side of your organization where we have kids running the organization, where we have kids doing the marketing for the Bears, where we have kids, where we teach the kids how to go get the field, how to set up the games, how to be the GM, how to set up a schedule, how to run the concessions, how to run the business sides of running a sports organization. So now on Saturday, not only is the team playing, but you got the chairman of the organization there. He does,
Yeah. No, I'm with it. That was my dream. I don't know. Maybe I just need to build a team to go talk to people. I guess maybe my approach is too strong for some of them, because I have talked to pretty much everybody you mentioned and some. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's all love. It's all love, but it's not like, okay, let's put it in action. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of these same people will never miss a football game, never miss anything, right? But anything outside of that, they're not there.
So
they're not there. They just won't show up for that. But they'll show up for every football game. And these are the coaches and everything involved. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking nobody. I'm not trying to call nobody out, but I'm speaking facts. These same people will never miss a football game, will have every excuse in the world why they don't show up for a youthpreneur or youth spelling bee or a youth this or youth that. But they want all the kids at every football game, though. So that's what I'm saying. It leads back to the parents, because like I gave you this analogy before. I had a parent that on my first event, it was sprinkling with the sun out, and they say they couldn't make it. And this same parent has drove down there through a hailstorm and tornado to get to a football game. So what are you just program? You program them, the kids, that these sports are more important. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I get it. I'm with it. I'm willing to team up. I'm willing to do it. And the idea you had, I was talking about that last year. I was like, you know what? I want to have a draft with my youth, but but I want them to be scouting the talent. I want them to see it from the other side, not always be the talent. I want you to be on the executive side, you looking for the talent. So you starting to understand what they see, what they looking for, what they see into a athlete. So you can see what on the other side, even if you are going to be a sports player, now you can at least see from the other side what they're looking for. So now you're spot on with that. I'm with it. I'm with all this stuff.
Another thing, maybe we gonna try to connect Wednesday or something, and I go try to set in motion because it didn't work for me like I thought it would. But there's a youth track team out there in Temple, and the coach wrote me at my job asking, can we donate to them? Can we blase? And because it was track, I was like, man, you hit my heartstring. You're talking about the track. Yeah. So I said, bro, let me pull up on you and let's sit down and talk. So I get there, I talk to him. He has a nice little track team, supposedly, some ranked runners and stuff, going to nationals, so forth. But he's paying for everything out of his pocket as a coach. And I said, well, let me show you how to make money using your athletes and their parents. I said, if you edify me and introduce me to your parents while you're doing track practice, I will talk to them, get them organized on fundraising. So you don't have to come out of your pocket. I drafted a letter. Yes, exactly. I drafted a letter, and this is what I did back in the 90s. Yeah. We had a letter our track coach gave us, and we drove around and asked people to donate. Our parents doing like the Girl Scouts, taking it to work, asking them to donate. Coach, we going to San Antonio. Okay, you need to raise $200 to cover your trip. If you raise $500, that means you got $300 spending money. So guess what we was doing all when we wasn't in practice? Yeah. Getting together with somebody with a car, going to the different neighborhoods, different businesses, right. Putting that accountability on them, but also putting a reward. Hey, parents, it's going to cost $1,000 for this season, but your kid could raise $500, $1,500. Your kid could, you could help them. This is all, yeah. Hey, okay, look, parents, you could organize, you could come up to the Harley, y'all could cook and sell for donations, but y'all have to cook. So as parents, y'all have to organize in support of the team. Yeah. Hey, you could set up a vendor day or whatever, but everybody has to be involved. It's no just dropping your child off. It's no just, and this helps the community because it's a lot of businesses out there that do little things to donate. Mm-hmm. And we could get the kids paid now.
Yeah. Nah, that's a great idea. And then at the same time, it's what the bigger picture is, us working together as a community, the parents, the kids, the organization. And that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it should be. That's what other communities do. It's not just one coach or this and that. It's the community, right there behind the coach, fighting with the coach, raising money with the coach, doing whatever for the youth. You know what I'm saying? We just the only ones. That's why I say it goes back to we're just so used to just getting everything as a handout. So we really feel offended when we have to work for something we feel like should be free or we shouldn't have to work hard to do. It's weird.
Do you know a guy? He's a little younger than us in Temple. He did music named Gutter.
Yeah.
So, bruh, y'all right down the street from each other.
Yeah, I know of him. Me and Gutter cool. I know him. He did. Matter of fact, he did probably one of my first videos ever back in the days.
I think y'all need to sit down and have a talk, if not all three of us, because it's a couple plays we could run capturing the entertainment side through business. Let them anyway. Yeah. But yeah, bro, like, yeah.
I'm like I say, I'm with it. I'm with for anything that gets us to the solutions, man. But like I say, it just the excuses and I just feel like I'm not gonna make it as easy. Like you just said, everything you just said is about the parents being involved. The parents had to put some skin in the game. They had to do the work too. That's the part I'm at now. Like at first, I was trying to figure out how to make it easy as possible on them because I just want the youth. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, nah. That, like you said, if it's too easy, they don't respect it. They don't care about it. It's an afterthought now.
So the next way is to change it and make it happen. Is finding somebody with like a 15-passenger van.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about this weekend too, so I can do the pickups and drop offs and have
And ideally, if we could find a church, because they usually have a 15-passenger van.
Yeah.
If we could find a church and then let the church, hey, they're a nonprofit,
We'll see. That's what I'm saying. Maybe I got to build up a little team for that. I don't know. I go so hard, I turn people off because I'm not like the regular person with a youth organization that just go kissing everybody's tail because I want $1 and I want to be your friend. I'm far from that. And you know what I'm saying? And I don't think that will change. But what I'm doing and the impact that I'm going out there, that's what matters to me. Like you saying what we saying last week, you don't want to ruin nothing because some people are more popular or whatever. But I don't care about popular. I care about impact. So y'all, you got a big old crew over there. Everybody popular and doing this. And what are y'all doing? It's organizations that raise way more money than me in Temple. They got big donors and all that. What are they doing though? You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna call out no names yet. You know what I'm saying? If a couple keep whispering about me, I'm gonna have to go public with it. You know what I'm saying? I try to not to do it, but because when I burn a bridge, I'll burn that thing down, and it won't be no room for construction. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be trying to be quiet, but yeah, it's organizations that get tens of thousands, even 100,000 or a couple 100,000 sitting in their nonprofit organization bank right now, and I can show you way more work that I do than them. You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, I don't care about how popular it is. What are you doing with it?
Unfortunately, it's always going to come down to politics. So
yeah, I get that, and I'm not even tripping on that because I play around the politics. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, the impact and what I'm going after, I can do it without all that. Would it be nice if I had that help, or would I had that? Yeah, it'd be nice, but that ain't gonna stop me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they can only run off that. I can run with that better, but I can run without that too. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't no stopping me. And of course, they see that. They keep wondering, like, how is this dude doing all this? You know what I'm saying? And we're trying to cut him off. We're trying to tell everybody that don't mess with him, this and that. And he still just boom, 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 boom. Because, man, I'm different. That little talk ain't stopping this.
But that's also important too, because is very important too, because these are the steps and processes we have to go through starting anything from the ground up, especially as Black men. So even as we get to talk to our kids, we get to tell them the real life experience. Man, I'm in a Grant Cardone course right now, and I'm watching some of the things that he's doing through the course, and I'm questioning, like, can I really take this same approach? As far as some of these conversations, I feel like go different because of his skin complexion, who he's talking to.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Now, can I get this conversation? Yeah, but it might take me 20 tries instead of 5. I still have to go get it or whatever. But having these conversations and going for it, to me, is the strength. And when we talk to the kids, because a lot of people, a lot of parents, a lot of peers, I think get caught in working because it's easier to stick to that versus having to learn in this area you don't know, having to learn in this area that you're not for sure. There's no certain steps. I can't tell you to do 5 jumping jacks on your Instagram and you're gonna go viral. And when you go viral, that's gonna equal $5,000 or whatever. You could go viral and that equals no money.
For sure.
You know, you can have people sharing your stuff. That equals no money. You can have people shouting you out, doing everything you need, but don't even share where to buy your stuff at. But they shared your post and shouted you out, but they still didn't put you in position to win, you know. So
that's just the way it is, man. So
yeah,
my thing is on this mindset. It's Mindset Monday. So the mindset, because most of us are individualized, right? So I'm only worried about my house, my kids, my this, my that, right?
mm-hmm.
But no matter, but you could be the greatest parent in the world. Teach your kid all the greatest information. If they're in school every day, who you think got more power over them, you or the school, or the kids at school, or social media? Like, you know what I'm saying? So being individualized really hurt us because we got to understand. Of course, everybody got to take care of house first. That's automatic. That's not even nothing to be said. You know what I'm saying? Old school used to tell me what's understood don't need to be spoke on. So I don't need to say common sense. You got to take care of, make sure your lights on before you worry about the neighbor's lights. But at the same time, if your house is perfect, but you in a community that's just hauled out and at the bottom of thinking and moving this certain way, that's going to override everything you teaching to your kids, because your kids is in that society more than they with you, because you at work, you at this, you at that. So if you don't think about community as well as building up your house and having your stuff together, and that's where we fall out. Because it makes me want to work harder when people see my frustration and people see what I go through. And I've been told this about 20 times since Saturday. That's why I couldn't do it, man. I can't deal with us. I wouldn't deal with us. And I'm like, but that's why we in a position we are, because all of us feel the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, even I used to tell this to Mama Brown all the time. Like, I'm for my people, but and she used to every time she tense up every time I say I'm for my people, but I understand that my people gonna be the first ones that hate, don't support, talk down. That's just baked in the cake. It ain't nothing that I want to just scream loudly, but it just is what it is. Like me, why would I lie to myself and act like that ain't the truth? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I know that, but at the same time, how do we deal with that? How do we work around it?
For one, we have to be forgiving of our people, right? We have to be aware of the situation, understand that we're not all cut from the same cloth, and that's okay. Yeah. You know, you might there's a role for a coon in the movement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We can't cancel the dude because he a coon, but we just have to take his strength. Okay, if we got to pull in money from the outside community, we might need to send him versus sending a pro-black guy to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? We have to play the system and understand that some of the things we experience is by design, and it's not designed to necessarily keep us down, but it's designed for us to break through and leave a roadmap. Because the ones that came before us, they didn't have the opportunity to necessarily break through and leave a roadmap. We have the opportunity to break through and leave the roadmap. So as you go through this frustration of building House of Resources, as I go through the frustration of building I'm Possible, as you go through the frustration of building CEO Youth Academy, as I go through the frustration of building BGOP, this is what's going to help us be able to look back and make it easier for the kids we're talking to, because we're going to be able to kick in those doors and leave door stoppers. We're going to be able to leave breadcrumbs. Hey, you're going to go through that, but you're going to make it through it. Just keep talking. Just keep boom. Okay, I know we have a strong message we want to put here, but let's flip it and do it this way and try to see if it works. You know, design is not to leave anybody behind, but to figure out how we could all work towards the same movement. but not necessarily all get along. You know, we're all not going to get along.
Yeah, that's
But,
cool. Yeah.
but we could work towards the same thing.
Yeah.
So even us, okay, now we got to change our approach or whatever to see if this works. But then we got to look at saying, okay, maybe we need to do this on film too. So now, even if you pay for the course, now it's there for boom, boom, boom. But then the benefit of it, next summer we can use that same film and say, boom, boom, boom. You know.
Yeah, just building up, and it's supposed to be the way it is right now because we building something from scratch. You know what I'm saying? That like so when you building something from scratch, we don't really have no role model. Even the people that the mentors that we follow, ain't too many of us building schools and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they do once they get the popularity, but it's easy once you're popular to have.
They don't get it twisted. Yeah. LeBron James ain't got no school. Diddy ain't got no school. They got charter schools. I mean, they donate majority of their money to fund that school. They didn't start it.
Yeah.
They can't tell you how to do the paperwork. They can't tell you how to. These are the things we're doing so we can leave those behind. Yeah. You know, Diddy now buying into that's cool and all, but that's PR.
Yeah, that's a difference. Yeah, for sure.
It's a difference.
Yeah, you know? That's big, man. So, man, I told Ms. Brown, I said I got a few shows this week. I'm gonna be doing a lot of venting, man. But it's not venting that I'm mad. It's been looking for solutions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not mad at nobody. I'm not like even the parents that I had a back and forth with today. I'm not mad at you. I'm more sad for the youth. I had people talk about, well, I'm sad that this happened to you. This ain't nothing happening to me. Because if I just said, if I woke up tomorrow and just said I'm gonna focus on my businesses that really bring in money, I'm gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? But I won't be good in my heart because this is my passion and this is the impact I want to do. That's what hurts me because I want to have the impact. Like, and I know what these kids up against. And it's like, why do I have to fight with the parent? Because you see it too. You gotta see it too.
One thing, I was just on a damn news interview talking about kids dying. 5 out of the 8 deaths in Killeen are kids under 18. I'm sitting there on a news interview feeling so awkward because they really lost someone. I don't know the story, but I'm trying to prevent them from being lost. You know what I'm saying? But let me share this as my final thought.
There you go.
And I'm gonna go to church a little bit.
Go ahead with it.
You know, we all talk about the testimony. You know, LeBron James right now is working on a testimony. We're all going to try to witness him come back from 3-0 to win and go on. So we can say we were a witness. Next year we could debate whether he's great or not because we saw him do this. That's a testimony. But as we go through life and we celebrate these testimonies, remember you got to have the test first. You got to have the test before you have a testimony. And what's missing is we want instant gratification. There's not enough testimony being shared. It's not enough people understand you being tested is just part of the process. You know, so even as we go through this journey, this is just tests for us to overcome, problem for us to solve. And whether we're frustrated, whether we're crying, we're going to move forward with tears in our eyes. We're going to move forward and get this mission done. Yeah. So if you're just watching, like sometimes it's not for you to join the battle. Sometimes you got to cheer. But if you're cheering, make sure you're really cheering for support. And what I mean by that is don't just rah, cheer on effectively. Share the link. When you share the link, encourage people to come. Tell them why they need to have their kids there. Don't just share it. Give people edification. Even let people know, hey, this man is putting his hard work, his hard time. The most important thing we got in life is time. Let them know. Let your peers know there's a man that's not famous, is trying to do something so impactful for his community. Boost him up. Make him, share his testimony as he goes through the test. And people just, as long as we keep going, people will find encouragement as we keep going.
And that's real. And I must definitely run with the commercial that you was talking about because I'm on this GoFundMe. I'm about to do a campaign to raise money for a whole nother issue. So I'm gonna have like a little shocking commercial for that. You know what I'm saying? And what you were talking about today, when you were talking about the House of Resources to the juvenile detention, this and that, that's kind of like a shock and awe. They need to see some reality of what we're trying to prevent and why we're here. So that's what they gave me. So I'm gonna definitely jot down some stuff, and I'm gonna get God tomorrow. I'm working on that.
Remember poor. Remember poor, bro. POOR. Passing over opportunity repeatedly.
Yeah.
Passing over opportunity repeatedly to come to the House of Resources and have you in the detention center.
Yeah. You know, how you in that Bell County, how you frustrated doing all kind of stuff, man. Yeah. Well, this was a good episode. Plus, it was a good little. I feel like I had to ask for your invoice. I feel like I was in a counselor session today. So you know what I'm saying. This is another thing I love me know with it because it's like it's the energy, but it's the sometimes like you have a day where you just need to come to vent. Sometimes we just need each other for that. You know what I'm saying, and then we can leave. We both make sure that you know what I'm saying. We leave with a smile and all that because we understand no matter how frustrated, how mad we are, the fight must continue. You know what I'm saying. So I appreciate you, bro, and I'll be looking forward to it. And I want to definitely get with you sometime this week, man, when you got some time, so we can sit down and plot up a few more things, and I'll tell you some things I got going, and how we can put these schools and everything together, and make sure we helping each other build. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard, like I said, it's rough already by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I already got a lot of kids. I got some teenagers, so I need to make sure that they're already getting funneled to what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And it's just all that. So we'll talk later on this week and get all that together. I appreciate everybody that tapped in with us tonight. You know what I'm saying? And man, I'll be hitting you up tomorrow, see what your schedule looking like for the week, so we can link in, man. And salute to next week. We'll see y'all next week, man. Peace.